Fire escape engineers inspect the summary video. We have a fire escape here. Must be structurally sound, must be kept painted on Dale, city of Boston. Fire escapes must be structurally sound, must be kept painted. This fire escape is due for a paint job. I think one of the reasons why this one is in worse condition than the other side, it has a twin just like it on the other side, is that the sun is on it all day long, and this side is due for a paint job. So on the back side, you can have a spot paint job. On this one, you need a full paint job because it's due. Look at all the rust. They're starting to show. But at the same time, I would paint them both at the same time. Otherwise, this needs a full paint job. The other one, just like it, needs a spot paint job because the paint's in a little bit better condition due to the sun's rays. Cement work right here, okay? Original hardware ready for load testing. Spacers are all crooked, so it's an indication that you need to reinforce the grading. You don't have to replace it, but you can also quote it accordingly. Cement work, look at this. This is caused by that. That is spalling, and it's growing as iron, and it cracked your sill, and it feeds water through here every day. It's feeding that iron all the water it needs. Its rust is growing. 1/4 inch becomes 1 inch, and it's destroying this window, and pretty soon this window will crack, and it'll be hard for it to work because of that, okay? This will do the same thing. It needs repair work here too. Needs repair work there. All right, let's go back down. Rust jacking happening in this connection. Original hardware square. Let's go down, look at all that rust jacking in that connection, okay? Original hardware. Cement needs to be repaired there. So they changed all the bolts. So you're gonna see changing all the bolts, okay? But they left rust in the connection. So it's a very minor rust jacking. So 1/8 plus minus 1/8. So if you want, you can seal that rust in there, or since you can use these bolts again, you can just open it up, knock that rust out, seal it with primer, seal it with caulking. Spacer issues, so these spacers are rotting on the inside, and it affects this nose here. You know what I'm saying? So if that ever gives way, the nose is what gives way, and you're gonna fall down the set of stairs. But again, they did replace the treads. They never removed any rust on here. Okay, so let's continue going down. This is a stabilizer. It needs to be pinned so that she doesn't wiggle when you come down. It's missing a right side. Usually you're supposed to have a right side railing, so the right side railing is missing on this also. Cement repair there, cement repair there. So this thing for sure is gonna need about 50 to 75% of the rust jacking in there. No rust removal, new bolt, original bolt, but rust jacking. You know, original hardware, okay, cement work there. Spacers are all misaligned, so reinforce the spacers as necessary. Cement work here, as you can see, water's getting in there. New bolt, ready for load test, ready for load test. And as you can see, she's crooked down there, so she needs rust jacking. So let me go down. Again, rust jacking remain, original hardware. So they changed some bolts. They left behind originals. This bolt looks good, that other bolt looks good, ready for load test. Some cement work there, some cement work here that needs to happen. Look at all this. So again, they changed the bolts, but they never removed any of the internal rust. So throughout, you can see that these bolts are getting affected. So you got to come in here and seal this so that no more water gets in here. Hammer test all these treads before, to verify that none of these bolts are weakened. Seal that to the building. 2 railings on this fire escape coming down. Okay, let's get down to here. So again, they changed all the bolts. Now this tread, unlike the sister, this can have a problem, but it would be great to either extend this and put a baby tread underneath here, just so you never drop your leg. Because as you can see, any miscalculation, and if your leg goes here, you're gonna break your leg at the kneecap. So connection issue there. Grading, again, that's new grading. That's what it looks like. This is old grading, and spacer issues throughout. But again, verify that the spacers are in good order. Seal this up so that it doesn't grow and crack this cement wide open. One of our biggest issue is this chain, this weight box is jamming. So right now, and it's a short cantilever. She's missing 3 to 4 feet of cantilever to hit the ground. There's a 3-foot jump down there, which is an imminent danger concern for this building. So this chain should be here. This thing is supposed to be balanced, and you can have a stopper over there on the wall so that when she comes up, she hits the stopper over there. But right now we have rust jacking in all these treads. Again, we have spacer issue. Look, that's 3/8 of rust jacking happening in all these treads. Original hardware. But the other biggest issue here is that all these bolts have no spacer, no spacing. And so right now this cantilever is actually frozen in this position. She can't go anymore, yet she's still 3 feet short at the very bottom, and I had to use that cinder block to get up here, okay? So let's come down some more. So the weight box needs to be balanced. We need a release arm on this so that she drops 2 to 3 feet per second when you release her. Cement work back here at the pivot point. Cement work down there at the diagonal. Original bolts here should be swapped out because they're 75 to 125 years old, the age of the building. Some of these, they changed the top bolt, right? And then they just welded. They never removed the rust. Original hardware is underneath, so it looks good, but you know, look at all that rust from above. Okay, spacers are rotting inside. So test every single tread to make sure. A huge rust accumulation, okay, on these things. All right, and she's frozen, so until I unwedge her, and she's gonna have a violent hit on that chain up there if I let her go. So watch me now on, you know, transferring. So as you can see, she's incomplete to grade. She's 3.5 feet at that point right there. So that needs to extend 2 to 3 or 4 treads so that it hits the ground. So we're gonna have plenty of room for it to be extended. That's easy to extend. And right now she's frozen in position. I need to wiggle her because whoever put some new bolts up there, she's got no room to play. So a lot of times you have to flip those out to be carriage bolts on the inside, rounded heads, so that they don't interfere with the functionality of this piece. We've got some cement work that needs to be done there. So like her sister here, she's gonna need a partial refurb because some of the treads, you can probably use the same bolts, or otherwise you can just leave them there and say, I'm gonna seal them. But again, if you want to do the correct restoration, there's one way. If you want to just repair it, it's another way of how many years you're going to get more out of this. Okay, so right now you have a system that has imminent dangers. We need to notify the client, and we need to notify the city that there's imminent dangers at this fire escape system. Any questions, fire escape engineers?